to differentiate. I believe the ability to differentiate begins with vision. When we first open our eyes, we don't have the ability to differentiate. It is said that we don't see clearly because the eyes aren't fully developed. But I believe it is also because we don't have any reference in our minds to what we're seeing. We see it all for the first time. So if we open our eyes, we see a panoramic landscape, 180 degrees plus. And then we can see 210 degrees in our peripheral vision. But we see it all as one thing. We may see movement within the one thing, but we don't know that it is individual things within the vision, within what we're seeing, because we haven't learned to differentiate. But as we learn, as we develop, we learn. For example, a child is told, a dog is presented to a child, and the parent says dog, and the child says dog. After that, the child may say dog for any four-footed creature, because it hasn't learned to differentiate to the point where it can distinguish between the four-footed creatures. So it may say dog for a cat, it may say dog for a raccoon, a horse, a cow, until it learns that it's not a dog, and it looks at it closer, and it begins to differentiate. Now we learn this process, and once it starts, it almost has a force of its own, because we continuously differentiate. We look at things and we start picking them apart. We see the differences. I remember when the term used to be all black people look alike, or all Chinese look alike, or all white people look alike, depending on your perspective or where you're coming from. The ability to differentiate hasn't been put into effect. But as I say, once it begins, we differentiate on everything, including noses, eyes, bodies, trees, flowers, personalities, emotions. And pretty soon, we can't see a landscape anymore. All we can see is the individual things that first attract us, the first things that we're most primarily interested in. We look at a landscape and we see our vision first focuses on a tree or a bush or a sky, and then the rest of the landscape falls into place. Some people can't get past that point of seeing just what they are interested in, and I believe that is, well, there's a symbol called the six-pointed star, and I believe the symbol, not I believe, but the symbol is made up of two triangles, one with a base, and the top of the triangle is shaped like this, and then the second one is an inverted same triangle. Well, the triangle with the base like this is how we begin our vision, from the Y to the point. And after we have learned to see with understanding, we learn to see from a point and outwardly. So it's the inverted means of the other triangle. So, as I said, most people don't know how to control the fact that we differentiate. So they go through life only seeing the things that they particularly want. The threshold of their vision only encompasses the things of their desires. They can't see beyond them. They can't see outside of them. And that goes for mental thoughts, that goes for all kinds of desires, all kinds of motivation. They are a prisoner of their differentiations. And the wise person learns to stop differentiating and go back to seeing everything as a whole. And those people are ones that can experience the most out of life, because they're not controlled by their desires, their wants. And it takes a method to get you from the first triangle to the second triangle. And it's satisfying when you can see things from both perspectives.